Hi guys, how's it going? This is the second version of the Sunday scope out. So I'm basically just going to show you my analysis for the weekend, what I'm looking at going into next week. And yeah, so hopefully you'll probably take something away from this. I'm going to go through Euro dollar, pound CAD, dollar CAD, Aussie dollar, and I'm going to show Bitcoin's price and my thoughts on Bitcoin's price, because that's something that this year I've just really started to research and really start to heavily invest in. Coinbase released their Visa card this week, so you can grab yours. I'll leave a link in the description, so you can grab yours, so you can spend your crypto pretty much anywhere you want. So yeah, I'll try and keep this pretty raw. I'll try and keep it brief, but yeah, I'll show you what I'm looking at. So in terms of Euro dollar on the daily, as you can see, we're in this bigger descending channel. So ultimately, we're looking for the third touch of this lower trend line. So we've got a 1, 2. We're looking for this third touch to then break through and achieve this 90% rule to the beginning of the correction. But also, there's a few possibilities that could happen. So let's break it down into the lower time frames. Obviously, as we've just said, we're looking for this third touch somewhere down here to then bounce off. But we also need to be aware that there's an override, and essentially we could reverse from where we are right now. So we've broken through the previous structural low here. So the double bottom, the possibility of a double bottom and a bounce off there is now off the cards. That's not happened. But there's also a second possibility in that it can break through in a descending corrective price nature, which is exactly what we've got here. And this could reverse on the third touch of this. So we could get a smaller push down and then a reversal, and it could carry us through. However, I don't think that's likely. What I think is likely is that obviously this is the most probable scenario. So we've just broken through this previous structure here on the 4-hour time frame. We've broken through. We've had a correction, which confirms that we're now confirmed more downside. The bears are in control, and I'm looking for this last little impulsive leg down here to complete this higher time frame structure, which is this leg here. I'm looking for that completion down there. So if we look at that on the hourly time frame and see what that's actually going to look like, I did just delete a trend line on here, so let's draw that back in. Here we are. So this is what I'll be looking at. Obviously, we've just broken through the support. We've corrected to confirm, and I'll be looking for this anticipated leg here. That's then going to form a descending channel, which is a reversal to come to the upside. So all that combined, it's starting to make build a bigger story and make sense. So yeah, I'll be looking for this leg down here on Euro dollar. On the next pair, pound card, as we can see, we'll start off on the daily. It's always better to look at the higher time frame because that gives the most accurate picture of price. But as we can see, we've started to break out of this sort of descending here. So we've broken out, but it's quite corrective. Now, what I'm actually looking at is we've broken out of this trend line here, of this slight descending trend line there. We've broken out. We've tested the previous structural high here, and we've fully rejected that on the daily. We can see we've had some really big bearish rejection candlesticks there. So essentially we could have impulsed back into the pattern. I'm going to have to see more price to decide ultimately where this is going. But short term, I can confirm that this looks as though it's going to the upside. If we take a look at this now, we're within an ascending channel on the 4-hour, so we're breaking out of this higher time frame structure, but we're forming an ascending. So we've got a correction here, impulse correction, and I'll be looking for this impulsive leg from here all the way up here, minimum to this green line that I've got set in here, if not to this third touch of the ascending channel. So it'd be a 1, it'd be a 2, and then this would be the third before dropping out. Or we could go and test the previous highs. But yeah, what I would be doing is, in terms of trading this, this is just simply how I trade it, is I'll be looking for bullish momentum to kick in as the market opens, and I'll be looking to get involved with a couple of buys where I've got this alert setting. So I feel as though price is going to maybe get a little hover here, and then we're going to break out. I'm then going to get involved with the buy to carry that to the upside. Now, what I'm going to do in terms of management for that trade, because simply I am not aware of whether we're going to be in for some long-term bullish movement or whether or not we're going to reject off these high structures, is that I'm going to trail my stop losses behind each bit of structure. I'm going to literally just look at exactly what the price is showing me, and then I'm going to make a decision based from that, literally to what I'm going to do. But yeah, short term, start of this week, I'm looking for buys on pound CAD all the way to up here. Next pair, dollar CAD. I'm actually looking for the downside on dollar CAD. Now, actually, I'm not looking for that straight away, but I will be looking for it. So this is what I'm going to do. We'll start off on the daily time frame as we have with all of them. We can see that we're within this channel. We've had this little bit of corrective ascending nature here. We've rejected off the previous structural high, which is here. We can see this strong bearish daily candle closures. That's showing that momentum might have flipped. So we've got an impulse, a correction, and I'll be looking for that next bit of the impulsive leg there. So let's break that on the 4 hourly. It's the same thing. So we've got this ascending nature. We've broken. So that's the impulse. This is a correction. And we're looking for that next bit of impulsive price action to the downside. But how's that actually going to happen? So this to me looks like a variation of a bear flag. So I'll be looking for the 1, 2. I'll be looking for a third touch of the bear flag here to then move down. So this ultimately will come up and then down. That'll be a really nice entry. But what can happen is this comes up and we reject off this previous high here and then drop out from there. So that's a key area, and as you can see, I've set an alert there with this little orange dotted line. That's where my alert's set for price, and I'll be looking for an entry to the downside from there. What really confirms this for me is this candlestick here. This 1 hour candlestick is it's a strong bullish closure. It's a bullish engulfing candlestick, which shows that the momentum's changed. So we've got an impulse. This is a correction, and at minimum I'm looking for that impulsive move there. Now, a good thing to do would be to use this little tool here and pretty much just copy the size of this candlestick and put that on top of here in line with this. Now, as you can see, that literally does match up to that line, that alert, and that ray line that I've got drawn in. So that's looking good. Another possibility that can happen on dollar CAD. Now, obviously, trading is a massive game of possibilities and probabilities. You actually got to pretty much consider everything and understand that not just because you want something to happen, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen. But this is what could happen as well. Now, if this variation of price that I'm just about to draw in now does happen, I probably will not be getting involved because this is not within my plan, and it's generally just a possibility instead of a probability. Now, price could reject from this trend line here and simply just drop out and continue this bearish momentum. So the higher time frame could take over at any moment, which obviously the bears are in control and they could just take over it from there. That does sometimes happen. But in terms of entries and higher probability setups, I'll be looking for entries here or here in the previous structural highs. So yeah, that's dollar CAD. I'm going to move over onto Aussie dollar. I appreciate this is quite quick, but really, guys, you just sort of need to know the high value areas, and that's just pretty much what I'm showing you. So on the daily time frame on Aussie dollar, this is what we're looking at. So we're in this bigger sort of descending wedge pattern. So we've got 1, 2. This is a third. So we're looking for that. Ultimately, we're looking for that movement up there to achieve this area here on the higher time frame. Now, let's break that into the 4-hour time frame. And as you can see, we've broken out with an impulsive leg. This is now the correction. So according to my plan, I'll be looking for the next impulsive leg there. So if we just copy this bit of price here, similar to what we just did on the on dollar CAD, and just stick that there. This is exactly what I'll be looking for pretty much like this. So let's break that down into the hourly time frame and see how can we actually get involved with that. This is where pattern separation comes in, and you can sort of see patterns within patterns as well, and how that increases probability. So we've got an impulse out of the pattern here. This is a correction, and I'm looking for that impulse there. Now this to me looks like a descending channel within a bull flag. Now that increases the possibility of that playing out to the upside. So I've got an alert set in the area of this double bottom, because then all the confluence factors stack up for me in terms of my plan. So we've got a descending channel, we've got 1, 2, 3, and we've got a double bottom all in this area here. So this area here is clearly a very high value area. Combine that with the high time frame, the higher time frame sort of like sentiment, the bias. It is looking like we're going to be getting this final leg to the minimum of here, if not break and get the 90% rule. So right now this is a good area for swing traders. So I could enter a trade here, pretty much down here, with a 15 pip stop minimum. Although it does look like I could get a tighter pip stop. I never trade with less than a 15 pip stop. That's just part of my plan. 15 is usually enough. I usually find that if you're going for 10, 8, 7 pips, you tend to get stopped out very quickly, and it's just being very greedy. As well, seeing as though there are a lot of news announcements that create volatility within the markets. Obviously, Forex is quite a volatile market. Due to there's a lot of liquidity in there. That's obviously one of the big attractions of actually trading it. So trading with a 7 to 8 pip stop loss won't be exactly smart. It's better to just trade 15 as a minimum. So yeah, this is the sort of thing I'll be looking for. An entrance here, and realistically, we could hold this to here, we could hold it to here, and we could hold it to up there. Now, literally just to this outer structure on the daily, that's 18% in a singular trade. Never mind all the scalings as you go up. So yeah, you can clearly see that this is in a real high value area. So I'm finally just going to go over Bitcoin's price, because I've really been getting into crypto lately. I've also started looking at Ethereum, but I'm not really as into Ethereum as I am Bitcoin at the minute. Bitcoin is where the hype's at, and that's where I'm sort of putting my money at the minute. So let's take a little look at this on the daily time frame. You can see that we've just broken out of this sort of big massive bull flag, sort of like descending trend line. We've just broken out of there. The price is quite corrective on a daily time frame, and it's forming like an ascending channel. So if we look at that on the 4 hour, I look at this as an ascending trading range for Bitcoin. Now if we take a look at where we are right this second on the hourly, it looks as though we've broken out this trading range. Now normally I would be saying that this is going to come to the downside, and we're going to have a massive bear market for Bitcoin, but I don't actually agree with that. Now what I think here is that this is forming sort of a running channel formation. So this is just another step in a very big bull flag. So we've got an impulse. This is just a big correction, and I'm actually looking for a very big impulsive movement to the upside on Bitcoin. So this is just sort of a recovery stage on Bitcoin right now. We're in a corrective pullback. I'm looking for entrances on these previous bottoms here, and then I'm really not gonna be shocked if Bitcoin goes to test the previous highs that we did in 2017, which so obviously according to Bybit's chart, it's $13,945. So yeah, I'll be looking for something along those lines. If you do take a look, minimum 90% rule that I've been talking about, that is here anyway. We've just broken out. So for 2020, definitely I can see the value of Bitcoin going to exactly what it was in 2017. I do apologise, because that is the 2019 high, not the 17,000 high that it was in Bitcoin. I was quite confused then too, but yeah. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for Bitcoin. Obviously, I invest in that as like an asset. I've just ordered the Coinbase card. I think I mentioned that earlier. So I'm holding that for the long run, and I really do see value in Bitcoin there. Now, the other thing that I will be concerned about is if we get another impulse through this previous low and then we get a correction like this, then I'll be concerned, because I think that confirms that the bears are in control then, and we could potentially look back to go into about $8,250 Bitcoin, which wouldn't be great, but it's also not the end of the world, because we could actually, like, if we're being really realistic about it, we could actually pull back to $7,670 Bitcoin, retest these lows, and then completely pop off from there, and enjoy that parabolic curve that we did back in 2017. Unfortunately, I wasn't involved with crypto back then, but I can definitely see like all the indicators are screaming that we're going to enjoy another parabolic curve. So that's just something to look forward to. Now, finally, as you can tell, I've just done this in one take. It's been a lot better as opposed to like sort of editing all together. I'm going to take a look at the fundamental analysis for the pairs that I trade through the week. Now, when I'm doing my Sunday analysis, I like to take a brief look over the whole week to see what's due. Now, every single one of these news announcements is going to affect a pair that I've got on my watch list. Now, that's good and it's also bad. So the only thing that it's bad for is that I've just got to be a bit more wary when it comes to getting involved with trades, and also like when I'm getting involved with trades. So if I want to get involved with this as soon as the market opens, to be fair, I'd be all right today. But say if I wanted to get involved on Tuesday at 9:30, and there's a trade lining up on this pair, I'd have to be a little bit more wary, because that news could create a certain volatility within the markets, which then means that I wouldn't profit from the trade like I would like to, because the chances are that I'm going to get tagged in and then tagged out straight away based off of this volatility. So you just got to be a little bit careful. But also, what I will say is that the volatility usually does push the price in the direction that we anticipate based from the market structure anyway. So we've got these structures joining, we've backtested these structures, and we know that they play out like this time and time again, does push to the upside like I'm anticipating now. And these news announcements, that so-called push price in the right direction, they actually just give it that little bit of volatility and just that little bit of interest in the market that actually helps push it to where it's meant to go anyway. Obviously, all the price is pre-decided by previous market structure anyway. That's why structure is primary in every trade. But yeah, pretty much, like I said, I don't take any significance as to what these are. Like, I don't care that this is a monetary policy meeting minutes. I don't care that there's CAD manufacturing sales month. I don't care. All I care is that there is an announcement that's going to create volatility, and I just need to be a little bit more careful, or a little bit more conservative with the stop loss size. I can't be going in with aggressive 15 pip stop losses if there's a news announcement. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Appreciate that's probably a lot of rambling on and a lot to take in, but just to round it all up, dollar, I'm looking for that push to the downside to complete this out of structure. Pound card, I'm looking for a push to the upside to get to these out of structures, if not completely break and tank to the upside. Dollar card, I'm looking for this downside movement, a bit of bearish momentum to come in. Aussie dollar, I'm looking for that upside movement to the minimum of this 90% rule, though I am aware that this could push down and form a deeper structure. And with Bitcoin's price, I am looking for bullish, the bullish momentum to kick in from these previous lows. Obviously catching loads of people on the wrong side of the market. Influencers are saying that the bear market is coming simply because of this one impulsive candle, which I don't believe to be true at all. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So if you enjoyed, just leave a comment down below. I'm going to get a webcam in the coming weeks, and yeah, I'll see you later.